Let's go, let's go. We're live. People, deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, and I hope you're all well and safe. Obviously, it's morning, it's 11 a.m. over here in the UK. Good afternoon, good evening, good night for those of you that are in different time zones across many different countries all over the world. I'm really appreciative of all the support you guys give me. And, no matter what time zone you're in, no matter what live you lots live, you always find time to fit deluded in. So it means a lot, people. I hope you're all well and safe. As you enter, please hit the like button. It doesn't cost a thing, people. Obviously, after this live stream, my guy Curtis Shaw of Curtis Shaw TV, make sure you give him a follow and a subscribe. We'll be on here on my channel from 12:05. As usual, you know that tomorrow will be the live stream from 6:15. All the information is in the pinned message, better yet. I'm too used to Twitter, so check that out. Make sure you're checking out the YouTube memberships. Make sure you're subscribed and following me across all the socials. Please make sure, if nothing else, and you're not going to follow me across any other of my socials, please Instagram. I need to get to 10,000. I'm on 3,000 or so. We've got a long way to go, but you lot can help me get there. Like I said, big up everybody that's tuned in. I'm really appreciative of everything that you guys give me in terms of support. So big up yourselves, big up yourselves, big up yourselves. Where is everyone? Big up yourself, my guy. Hi, my guy. We've got love from Dubai. I'd love to be in Dubai. Definitely seeing all the rappers and the UK people go over there. So big up Dubai. Warren, shout out to you as well, man. I hope you're well and safe. I hope you've all got a cup of coffee. Hope you've all got a cup of tea or whatever. And I do need a bit of help, people. Please, can you tell me if I sound a bit better? I'm asking you this because this is the Rode mic I normally use for my podcast, and I thought let me use this one now and make me see if I sound a bit crisper. So I'd appreciate it if you lot could give me some feedback. Do I sound crisper? Do I sound worse? Do I sound the same? Please, man, any feedback is good feedback. 6 a.m. out there in America, ridiculous. Thank you very much for your support, man. You need to be going and having breakfast and all of those things, but you're watching DG. I really appreciate that. Now, tomorrow, people, let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into it. Let me bring up my notes, people. Forgive me. Now, tomorrow, as you lot know, 9th place Wolves come to the Emirates against 12th place Arsenal. They're actually a point in front of us, I believe. Let me actually check the table. Like I said, they're a point in front of us. We're on 13 points. They're on 14. A win would propel us, to 16 points and could take us as high as 7th / drawing with 6, depending on goal difference and depending on results in other places. And that would be decent for us as Arsenal fans. You got United playing against an informed Southampton. Manchester City didn't win last week. They're going to have to get back to winning ways. We're only 5 points off the top. Well, 7 points off the top now. But you get my feeling is that obviously Arsenal are not going to win the league, but you need to target closing that gap. We've got a big run of games. We've got a big run of games to come. We need to close that gap. We need to get back to winning ways. Our best chance across these last 3 games, these 3 games, including last week against Leeds, was against Leeds. We took a point, but we didn't win. What we need to do is get 3 points against Wolves. And don't get it twisted. I have nothing but respect for Wolves. Nuno's been there for a number of years. He's promoted them from the Championship. He's got stability within the Premier League, and they're clearly, the Leicesters, the Evertons, the Wolves. These guys are trying to push into the Champions League spots and do big things. Wolves are a team that deserve to be in the Premier League. I've got nothing but admiration for what Nuno's done and for what Wolves are doing. They haven't had the best of starts to the season. They are 9th. It's not all doom and gloom. They're 6 points off the top. And if I'm a Wolves fan or if I'm a Wolves player, you've seen Villa have a good start to the season, as you've seen with Leicester, Southampton and Everton. I would want to close the gap on them. I would expect to be able to beat Arsenal. I expect to be able to take 3 points. And whatnot. When I think of Wolves, I think of aggression, passion. I think of Nuno and his tactical outlay and stuff is the blueprint, better yet, is firmly there with Wolves. So it's going to be a tough game. When I think of Wolves, I think of Jimenez. Now, you saw my preview yesterday with Dave from Talking Wolves. They have been struggling to score like us, people. So when I think of Wolves, I typically think of goals, but they've been struggling. I think of an extreme defensive structure. Connor Cody didn't play on Monday and against Southampton, and they changed the back four for the first time. And I think other than that, you've seen a 3-5-2 or different variations of three at the back, people. And to a degree, depending on how you look at it, you saw a slightly more expansive Wolves on Monday, really and truly. They should have won the game. They had 20 shots very early. If I just bring it to you lot, people, despite 20 shots against Southampton on Monday night, Wolves continued their record of failing to score in the first half of Premier League games since the start of last season. Nuno's side haven't scored in the opening 45 minutes of 34 matches, more than any other side. However, in their victory over Crystal Palace last month, Wolves scored 2 goals in the first 27. So they changed it. They haven't. So my point. Apologies, it is on YouTube, my guy. Make sure you're hitting the like button, as I said. So my point being, when I think of Wolves, I think of a good system, tough to break down. They've got threats in wide areas. You've got Connor Cody, they've got Jimenez, they've got Pedance, they've got Neto, they've got Adama, who ain't been in too much form, Semedo. There's a lot of threats, and we're going to get into it. But Wolves don't shoot enough. Wolves don't. 20 shots was probably the most expansive game I've been watching from Wolves this season to a slight degree. They don't shoot enough. Their players aren't exactly clinical right now. All of this goes out the window when you play Arsenal, like you guys know. They have threats. They haven't scored. They don't start early in terms of scoring. Can we start early at home? What I wanted to see against Aston Villa, what Aston Villa did to us, can we do that against Wolves? Start strong, pass the ball forward, 1-2 touch passes. If it's a low block, people be brave, be expansive, try and find those passes. Have shots as well, people. It's as simple as that. Like Wolves, individually, Wolves' players haven't been too good in terms of form. Like Jimenez isn't exactly clinical, but Wolves are a difficult side. I think they've got 3 or 4 clean sheets. They're up there for clean sheets, people. They're a side we're gonna have to be very wary of, people. 4 clean sheets to our 3. They're 10th in the Premier League for crosses, 159. When I think of Wolves, I think that's an area you have to exploit against Arsenal. Nelson Semedo might be a bit shaky defensively. Going forward, he can present some problems. Now, I back Kieran Tierney, but Kieran Tierney can't do it all. If I was them, I'd play Adama Traore, that raw, aggressive pace. I know he ain't been in the starting lineup too tough for Wolves, and I know he ain't been playing too much, but he's got to get in behind. If I was them, I think you play Adama Traore, that raw power, aggression, and you run at us along with Semedo, along with their left back, and either Pedance, Neto, who's been in decent form and chipping in with a couple of goals, put crosses in, have shots. And for me, the evidence is there, people. They're 10th in the league for crosses. We need to clear our lines convincingly. And there's 2 things you need to look out for. I'm telling them, if I'm Wolves' management, I'm telling them get crosses in, because Arsenal do not track the runners. That's the second part of crosses. Crosses are all fine. Jimenez, you give Jimenez time and space, he's going to head it home. So Arsenal players, I hope you're aware of having to defend convincingly. Follow your runners, be rigid. Neither team is clinical or doing much in front of goal, so I don't know how many goals will go in. And I think it'll be interesting to see how both sides react after going a goal down, people. So we know what to expect in a healthy way. Nuno is stubborn. If Connor Cody's back, he'll go with a back 3. Like I said, I think their threats will come from wide areas. That's not to downplay anyone. João Moutinho's been a very good signing for them. They've got Neves. They've got quality all around, people, and areas they can exploit us. They've had extra days preparation as well. As you lot know, yes, it was a rotated side, but we played on Thursday. They played on Monday. Our plans were slightly disrupted because of the fog over in the UK, and we had to stay an extra night as opposed to traveling to the Midlands or Amsterdam sort of thing. Nuno has played down that as well. He said it's not an advantage, and he said, I'm well aware that the flight was delayed due to the fog, but I'm positive, and I know that Arsenal has a good squad filled with talented players that can produce a strong 11. So again, he's always going to play it down and things like that. So I know, for me, what I expect a tough side. I expect Wolves to battle from start to finish. I expect a hell of a lot of crosses. I expect raw energy. I expect a team that should come to the Emirates. Our last couple of results at the Emirates have not been good, to put it nicely. It hasn't been good. We've got washed 3-0 against Aston Villa. Who else was there before that? We lost to Leicester. So come and capitalize on that. If Arsenal go a goal down, what happens? Look at that Leeds game. We were begging for a point, but we could have conceded. Wolves should feel that they could come here and get a result, people. They should feel that. And that's what concerns me as an Arsenal fan, and something that Arsenal players are going to have to counteract. We're going to have to earn the right to play. You're going to have to start strong. I'm sure they lost 4-0 to West Ham, which was the shocker of the season so far for Wolves. But in relation to their latest form, people, in their last 4 games coming into this, they beat Palace 2-0. They defeated Leeds at their place at Ellen Road, something we couldn't do. A 0-0. They drew with Newcastle. They lost 1-0 to Leicester, and they drew 1-1 with Southampton on Monday, people. So in their last 4 games, last 4 games, what's that? 2 wins, a defeat, and a draw. So it's not the worst of form, people, really and truly. Since losing 3-1 to Man City and 4-0 to West Ham, they've been on the rise, really and truly. They don't score too many goals, but they're going to be a difficult opposition to break down, And like I said, with the wide areas, people, it's not just down to Tierney or Bellerin or Maitland-Niles. The wingers have got to help. The midfielders have got to help. For me, Jimenez, follow your runners. This is why I'm inclined to believe we might potentially see a 3 at the back, people. And I wouldn't necessarily be against that. I would like to see a 4, but I wouldn't be against it, people. Before we get into other stuff like the lineup and the formation and the rest of it, team news. As you lot know, Pepe will play no part of this game due to his sending off. Thomas Partey is still touch and go, but apparently he's also unlikely to feature due to a thigh problem, probably trying to save him for the Spurs game. Willian's got a calf issue and is hoping to be available. Mohamed El Nene and Kolasinac are in contention following positive COVID tests. As you lot know, Martinelli's not about. For Wolves, they'll be without Roman Saiss, who has to self-isolate due to COVID-19, but they welcome back their, a permanent fixture within their side. Their permanent fixture within their side, plays a lot of games. Conor Cody will be central to what they want to do. So it's something we're going to have to be well aware of, people, really and truly. And for me, I said this against Villa going into the international break. I said it after against Leeds. I said it before the Leicester game. We need to get 3 points. These boys need to go on a run of games. The games aren't coming any easier for us. We should be looking at this. I don't think we can get top 4. But mathematically, as long as it's still possible in that league, that's what these players should be targeting. So this is what I want to see them go into. We play at 7:15. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but come that time, we would have seen everybody play in the Premier League. And it seems like, to me as a fan, every time we know the ramifications of where we're going to place if we win, lose, or draw this game, because everybody else has played, we seem to choke. So I want to see them going into it, knowing what they need to do, looking focused. I want to see them try and take points. As I was saying, top 4 for me can't happen, but mathematically it's possible. Mathematically, these players shouldn't give up until it's mathematically not possible. Again, if some buts don't win things, and like I said, I don't think we're going to get it, but they should be looking at it as, okay, cool. You've got Spurs versus Chelsea today. You've got Southampton versus United. You've got some difficult fixtures. Let's take our 3 points. And then, obviously, we've got Spurs. Let's see how that game goes, because everybody's still going to drop points this season, and so are Arsenal. The time for talking is over, and the players have got to firmly show that. And Wolves are going to be a tough opposition. We've got to earn the right to play. We've got to start fast. These things are not rocket science is the word or the phrase I'm looking for. Better yet, people. In relation to the lineup, I'm not too sure, people. Let me get a pen, because me, I like to do this with a pen. I would like to see Reece Nelson start. That would be the first spoiler. I would like to see Balogun on the bench. Balogun on the bench. In relation to the lineup, I would like to see a 4. So I'm going to do a formation with both a 4 and both a 5, people. Give me a second. So if it's a 4, I'm going with Leno in goal, obviously. Tierney as well, picks himself at left back. Right back, I'd prefer Maitland-Niles. Centre halves would be Gabriel and David Luiz. David Luiz, again, I'm not too sure on his fitness. In fact, before I continue, that should be someone I type in on Google. Is David Luiz actually fit? Apparently Sabas has spoken about the bus stop between David Luiz and him as well. So I've seen nothing. There's nothing online to suggest that he's not. And in the press conferences, I didn't see Arteta allude to it. So I'm inclined to believe that, David Luiz is still available. If he is available, then it's David Luiz. In the event that David Luiz cannot play, then I'd probably go with Holding, to be fair with you. We don't really have much other choices. So the back 5, including Leno, would be Leno, Tierney left back, Maitland-Niles right back. David Luiz and Gabriel would be my centre half pairings. El Nene, welcome back after, getting over the COVID scare. El Nene goes into the side for me. Personally, I'll go with a creative player. I'll go with a Cam. El Nene, who else gets in there? I'm not really feeling the Xhaka ones. I guess I'd go with Ceballos, really and truly. I'd go with Ceballos. Partey's not there. If Partey's fit, then you lot know me. Obviously, he gets in the lineup, people. So I'd go with Partey. I'd go with El Nene, Xhaka. El Nene, Ceballos. That 10 position, let me leave it blank for a sec, people. Skipping that 10 role, that extra man in midfield. On the left, I'm going to go with Bukayo Saka, if fit, because I think, you know, it's not even I think, it's a fact. He's one of our best performing players. He's a player we need, and he's performing. You know, it's disgraceful that we have to rely on him like this, but Saka plays for me. I think Reece Nelson's played his way into an opportunity similar to Joe Willock when Joe was working hard in Europa and he got his opportunity. I think Nelson looked good against Leeds. I think he looked good against on Thursday. If fitness prevails and he's got the fitness in his legs and he's ready to go, then I think he deserves a start. I don't think I think if Williams fit, I do think William will start, purely because of what he might give us defensively going backwards. And to be fair, that was highlighted in the Leeds game with Bellerin being killed because Pepe weren't tracking back, on top of Bellerin just struggling. So I actually feel you will see William either or, well, I'd say William, Lacazette and Aubameyang back on the left-hand side. You know, we'll get onto it, but there's an interview that's come out on Arsenal.com about Aubameyang. So, you know, I think I'm inclined to believe Lacazette, Aubameyang and William will be the front three. But if it's a four at the back, four in at the back formation, I almost forgot the cam position. I guess you could throw William in there, and you've got Saka. I think Reece Nelson, Saka, and Smith Rowe in addition is going to start. I think they should, but I don't think that's going to be a thing, people. So for me, we're down to our bare bones in midfield. You know, I'd probably go with Joe Willock, you know, just for some energy, really and truly in that midfield. I'm not really convinced with any of these options. Clearly, if Partey doesn't play, we're significantly off the level. I wouldn't mind William, if fit, to play in that 10 row and free up the attackers. You know, that's the only exception, but his form doesn't cover it. If we're going with a back five now, people, not too much for me is going to change personally. Again, I'm going with Gabriel at centre-half, Leno in goal, obviously. Gabriel at centre-half, David Luiz and Holding would also, you know, make up that back three for me. Maitland-Niles gets the nod at the right-back position. Tierney plays for me at left-back. Midfield, I'd go with El Nene and Ceballos. And then through the middle, well, our front three, it would still be Bukayo Saka. For me, Aubameyang through the middle, Saka on the left, Nelson on the right. I want to see Nelson and Saka swapping the game consistently, really and truly, people. So that would be me in terms of the lineup. Like I said, and another point I want to highlight, whoever plays in those wide positions, help your fullbacks. The front three need to press from the front. You know, Wolves are 10th for crosses. They've crossed 159 times, people. Now, we do well from set pieces, but from open play, we struggle from crosses. Or if not necessarily direct crosses, it's a thing where someone, like a midfielder won't follow a runner, the fullback will see a runner, that guy puts a ball into the box and it's a tap-in. Follow your runners. If I'm Jimenez, I'm licking my lips and saying, yo, I'm getting on the score sheet tomorrow, sort of thing. So we know what to expect, people. We know what to expect against Wolves. You know, we need 3 points. That's a big enough reason to want to win. Top 4 is a myth, but if you want to give yourself a glimmer of hope, you need to win. And as I've already said, the games aren't getting any easier for us from now to the start of next year. And even February to March is gazy. You know, we've got Spurs next week. I'm pretty sure we've got Everton or Southampton after that. You know, we've got some tough games. They're coming thick and fast, people. They're coming thick and fast, man. So, yeah, man, like I said, I can't help but admire what Nuno's brought to the table for Wolves. So we'll have to see. But what are you lot saying in relation to the Wolves game? Let me know you lot's formations. Let me know you lot's concerns. What are you thinking about? Who has to make the difference for you guys? Let me see what you lot are saying now. People, come on, man. It sounds good. Use it all the time. All right, cool, man. I'll keep using this. This ain't a new mic, my guy. I got this time ago. This is what I use for the podcast. I just don't use it for the live streams. And I thought, why not? Because it weren't working once. I thought, let me try and make this thing work. As one said, make sure you're hitting the like button on your way in. It doesn't cost a thing, people, to hit the like button and show a guy some love. You hitting the like button means that obviously it's going to be seen by more people and they're recommended. So hit the like button. Please make sure you're checking the pinned message because I've given you my information for my next live stream. I'll be here at 12:05 today with Curtis Shaw. Tomorrow I've got the watch along, people. Make sure you're hitting the like buttons and the reminders on those as well. All my days, the new mic looking fresh. Thank you, my guy. Thank you, my guy. Wayne is, well, Sid Hant, forgive me for mispronunciation. You said, I think it's a 1-1. You know, last couple of times, I know we won at their place. Did we? I swear Saka scored and we beat them at home. But at the Emirates, there's been a couple of draws. And I'm sure you all remember a couple of years ago when we got smacked, 3-0, 3-1 or so. at their place. So they're a bit of an open book. We know what to expect. They're not exactly a mysterious team, but we're going to need to be at our best, because Wolves should believe they can do what Leeds did, what Villa did, what Leicester did, in taking points off Arsenal, really and truly. I know Leeds drew with us, but you get the point. Big up SA. That's what I'd like to see, man. The big danger is the if business, yo. And, you know, if an Arsenal is a great membership relationship, if we can. And, you know, this is the game to start fast. We're at home. You know, fans aren't there. You know, they'll be back on Thursday. Some will. I tried to, you know, you got to do the ballot thing for Arsenal, so you can't even get it. Start strong. You know, both teams aren't in the best of form, so start strong. You know, this team, and what I want to see is if it becomes apparent that they've gone with 5 at the back, you know, 3/5 off the ball, and they're going to sit back and wait for us to break them down. Players need to take responsibility. You know, David Luiz, even in the Europa League, it became clear Modo are going to sit off us, so he's trying to ping balls over the top. What I don't want to see is this laboured and slow and lack of idea, you know, passing backwards and stale and stuff, because we're doing the job for the opposition. I want to see midfield runners as well, and that's probably why I'm saying get Joe Willock in there. But if I look at it logically, Joe and Nelson, you know, I know Joe got subbed, but I don't think both will play. I really hope Saka's fit, but I do think the front three will be Lacazette through the middle, Aubameyang back to the left-hand side, and Willian back, you know. Maitland-Niles did pocket people last time, and I want to see him involved. You know, Gabriel, I think Gabriel can lock down Jimenez, but it's not just down to him. It's down to his centre-half partner and himself, or the back three, the whole back line, and the midfield. Because if you look at 9 times out of 10 when we've conceded headers, it's not just come out of thin air. Nobody is tracking the runners. Nobody's marking their men. So I really hope off the ball. Off the ball is what's going to make the difference in a game like this. I want to see the front three work, because they attack. You know, our first line of attack is a line of defense. Stop the early crosses, because if I'm Wolves, you know, Pedro Neto, Pedence, Adama, I'm telling them, try and beat your fullbacks. Get a crossing. You know, if you can't, try and whip it early. If you can't, try and give it to your more technical João Moutinho or Neves and these sort of players, and they'll do the rest. Because you know Arsenal, like with Jamie Vardy, when plays on the right-hand side and Jamie Vardy's in the middle, the eventual goal scorer, we switch off. We lose our man. And if you lose Jamie Vardy, if you lose Ollie Winks, you know, Ollie Watkins, if you lose Harry Kane next week, they will put you in problems. It's as simple as that. Like we go through this stage. I mean, how many times have you lot sat here in my live stream and I've sat here and we've been saying the same thing? So we'll have to see, man. I'm not too sure if Partey is back. I hope he is back, and I hope Arteta is playing coy with his fitness. But if he isn't fully fit, then you might as well just save him for Spurs. As much as I think we need him, and as much as I feel, well, not even I feel, clearly we're considerably weaker if we do not have him, people. Clearly, really and truly. Loving the mic means a lot, my guy. Means a lot. I should have brought it out. I should have brought it out more often. And as well, hopefully Balogun. I'm seeing a lot of love for Balogun in the bench, in the comments. I hope he's on the bench. I'm not going to sit here and say he must start and put all this pressure, but we're not exactly firing. You know, we need players that can come off the bench and do things. And I think Balogun right now, Premier League, let's involve him. He gives us an option off the bench. He's more confident than an Eddie Nketiah right now. And, you know, Balogun might make other men step up, because if Balogun comes into the fray now, yes, he's a young 19-year-old, but Eddie's got to fix up. Aubameyang's got to fix up. Lacazette's got to fix up. Even the wingers have got to fix up, because it's one more attacking player adding to the conundrum. You know, Lacazette's form directly affects, you know, wingers playing as well, because Lacazette is brought into the team for whatever he does and his form, and then Aubameyang would be shifted out wide, and then you're fighting for one place, which seems to go to Willian, and Nelson and Pepe have unfortunately fell victim to that. Big up everybody in the chat. Big up Zombie. You know, hit up the like button. It doesn't cost a thing. Big up Lloyd. Always here in the live chats and all my normal videos. It means a lot, Lloyd, for your support. Big up Rion. You know, you love working. You know, you love. Oh, I thought you said working out, but you're working from home. Big up yourself. I hope Saka is fit, but if he's not 100% fit, don't force him. I do agree, my guy, Reece Nelson. That's what I've said at lengths in my videos. You know, I like him, but he just needs to polish up a bit more consistency with his crossing, you know, and his decision making. Just become a bit more polished and a bit cleaner in that regards. 100% agree. I don't want to see Lacazette in the 10 role for the Wolves game. I don't think he's going to help us. If Arteta does that, then I'll support the thing. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I don't see us getting top four, but the boys have to focus on trying to get top four. They have to just see top four in sight and apply the consistency. Mathematically, it's still possible. I don't think it's happening. And like you said, we have no urgency with or without the ball. You know, the only time we seem to have urgency or a sense of purpose is actually when we go a goal down. And for me, that's very reactive sort of thing. Even when we went down to 10 men against Leeds, it's no coincidence. We started looking a bit more solid because we knew, okay, cool, we need to shut this game out and walk away with a point. We're very reactive. I want to see the onus, and it's down to Arteta to reiterate that to them. But I want to see the players start strong. None of this tentative thing. I'm not saying force it, but try and exploit them. Big up yourself, John Wayne. Had to repair the heating in the living room. Greetings, DG and the chat, folks. Hope you managed to fix that. Is what it is. You know, big up yourself. I'm getting a lot of love for what I'm doing. Claudius, it means a lot. Big up the members. Check out the YouTube memberships as well. I really appreciate all the members. Big up yourself, Angry Devil Entertainment. The mic is sick. You lot are showing me mad love, man. I love leveling up for you guys. Looking like a half worth of lug. Oh, man. I'm trying to ting, man. I'm trying to ting. Turn your notifications on for more lives. Hit the like button as well, people. 25 minutes in. You know, what are you lot saying for predictions? Charlie saying similar game to West Ham 2-1. I'm pretty sure my guy, you, me, and a lot of Arsenal fans will take that. You know, we'll take that. It's not pretty. I'm pretty sure I agree with that. That's what I expect as well, my guy. You know, just walk away with it, run away with the victory. A bit hands in mouths, all mans to the pump sort of thing. You know, we've got 2-0 Arsenal. I hope that's the case. But you've also said it won't be a pretty one. Ben's gone 1-0 to the Arsenal as well. You know, we did win away last year. Saka scored that banger. You know, big up yourself for the praise. You know, big up all my South African DG Nation members and big up everyone wherever you are supporting the thing. It really means a lot. Make sure you're hitting the like button. I hope he does play. I think Willian ain't done enough. You know, if Willian scores, he'll become a hero. But yeah, man, I don't think he's done well enough, man. What do you think about Joe Willock? I think Willock looks better in that box-to-box role, that number 8 position, like you saw. And I think depending on his fitness levels, because he played against Leeds, he played substantially on a Thursday. You'd imagine he's good to go on a Sunday, but he's someone I'm looking to bring into the fray. I do think you're going to see El Nene, Xhaka, Ceballos, but Joe, we need legs. And just the fact of Joe will make those runs. I want to bring David Luiz because when it becomes clear that, you know, they're sitting back, it's a low block, we've got a lot of time, yeah. David Luiz, for all his mistakes, is going to try and play those passes. It's upsetting that my centre-half is the most creative player at the moment in the team, and Joe Willock can at least make that run. Everybody wants it to feet, and, you know, you've seen it at Arsenal. Everybody wants it to feet. Everybody's 5 yards next to each other and playing slow passes. I want people that are going to disrupt them, and I think at least Joe Willock tries to make that run, and when you've got Aubameyang's pace, there's issues there. When will Martinelli be back? Probably at start of next year, in my opinion, or the close of this year. You know, they should be. Get at Bellerin. You know, anytime Bellerin's had some good games this year, but 9 times out of 10, anytime he put up against someone that's a half decent 1v1 speed demon merchant and a got physical presence, they'll finish him. You know, Neto's been chipping in with some decent goals for the team, and Jimenez is also a problem. Like you said, both will present issues. Let's let Balogun keep developing. I think Balogun starts initially should come in the Europa League, but I'd like him on the bench. I'd like him to get minutes. I'd like him to be involved and ultimately be an option off that bench. I think he's deserved it. I think currently you're looking at the existing options. It isn't happening. Big up yourself, Jaden, man. But we don't Arsenal Queen. Anything can happen, of course. But at the same time, I have to ask you a question. Do you see us dropping more points? The other teams are, but do you see us dropping more points? Do you see us putting consistent runs together? I agree with you. Mathematically, it's still there. Generally, looking at the Premier League this season, nobody's really seizing it, whether it's winning leagues, whether it's trying to get Champions League place, nobody's seizing it for their own. So I agree with it. But what goes against Arsenal is consistency. You know, I don't know what we're going to get week in, week out with these boys. We keep saying ifs and buts, and while anything is possible, I can only deal with the facts that my team are inconsistent. I can't tell you week in, week out if we're going to be confident of a performance. We don't know which players are going to turn up. We don't know which Arsenal is going to turn up, you know. So I do hope that we can do United or Chelsea and find our way, stumble across the top 4 this season somehow, but I don't think it's possible. And, you know, even top 6, if we keep playing like how we're playing, you know, you can draw your own conclusions, man. There is no reason why we can't do it. But again, you need to put a run of form together. If I can't tell you if we're gonna win, if we can put 3 wins on the trot, who knows? And as much as you lot say that, and you look at Spurs' fixtures, for instance, they're pretty difficult. But let's take a quick look at Arsenal's fixtures to come. I do agree with a lot of what you lot are saying, but just focus on the if, people. It's the ifs, it's the ifs, it's the ifs. Better yet, I should check on my phone rather than that. Let me check on my phone real quick. Arsenal fixtures. Look, people, what? Wolves on Sunday, you know, Spurs, purely Premier League. You've got what? Arsenal, you've got Spurs. I mean, you've got Arsenal, Wolves, you've got Spurs away next Sunday. You've got Burnley at home. I'd expect us to win that. You've got Southampton at home. You've got Everton away. You've got Chelsea on Boxing Day. You've got Brighton away on the 29th. First game of next year is West Brom away. Then you welcome Palace. You know, can you see, you know, we will drop points and other teams will, but we need to put consistent runs together. There's no point beating United away from home if you're going to lose 3-0 against Aston Villa. It don't make no sense. DG looking like he's about to spit a 16. Who knows, man? A single might land. It might land. You never know, my guy. It might, you know. I see Tion Wayne and who is it? Tion Wayne and Mist have a song called Deluded. Shout me for the remix, Tion. You're from Edmonton as well, man. Come on, man. Let's all get out the hood together, man. Let's all get out the hood together. We've got another 2-1. You know, we've got Brad saying 1-0. I've done a video about Dane Scarlett. I think he's a young player with a lot of potential. It's a shame he plays for Spurs. He's done well to get over a lengthy layoff last season due to his injury, but I think he's a good player, man. And, you know, it's a shame he plays for Spurs. We've got a 1-1 there. Arsenal Queen is saying 2-1, hopefully, you know. Nene Skills is saying Balogun are off the bench with the winner. Hopefully, you know, I want to see, for me, Balogun needs to be involved in the first team now. Like, I'm not saying he needs to start and whatnot, but he needs to be an option off the bench, man, because we ain't got nothing else. Players are not performing. Go and put pressure on spots. Martin, who's an Everton fan, has said 1-1, Arsenal will dominate, but Wolves will grab the equaliser. I hope you're wrong in that regards. They were. Wolves were hot and cold in the first half. They had a bunch of shots, but then they were quite open. I do think to a degree, Joe Willock is a bit of a headless chicken, but yeah, man, agreed. You know, that is a point. That is a good point. This is it, man, Football Manager Maniac. And that's what I mean. It's like when you look at it, yeah, the system, tactically, you can point fingers at Arteta, and I'm not excusing him. But same way, if I'm a Bamian, do I want to be playing all the games we played this season? Am I going to keep sitting to myself after the game and saying, I never scored, I never had a shot because people are not creating? You know, create your own luck, make your own luck. You know, this service business, it only goes one way. You know, we can't keep sitting here and saying that. But it is true. What All Eyes on Me is saying, we have no creative freedom. We are very rigid. So we'll have to see, man. That's it, man. I think for what it's worth, he's gonna play him. Relax, Zombie. 12:15. Curtis Shaw and me will be here. Make sure you've hit the reminder for the other live stream because it's gonna be in a separate one. So yeah, man. Make sure you're there. Make sure you're there. Big up everybody in the live chat right now. Please make sure you hit the like button on your way in, or just hit the like button in general. Jaden has said, "Do you think we will struggle even if Balogun plays?" I'm not saying Balogun's going to be a difference maker. Our whole team is struggling in a creative sense. Like as poor as all of them have been individually, it's no coincidence that not a single attacking player out of push Saka is excelling. A bit of that is due to the players, of course, but that has to be down to Arteta's system. That's no coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It doesn't happen like that, man. Creativity as an issue is a myth. We actually need more leadership. Bit of both. We just need people to take responsibility, but I don't think the creativity issue is a myth. It's evident. Like it's evident. Like it's really evident. Bro, his current form is poor, but he's gonna need to stand up to be counted. I've still got him in my FPL team, just hoping he's gonna turn it around. But it's a bit of a myth. It's a bit of a myth. A man said borrow Delph. I like that, man. Big up yourself, Mo Kitchen. Big up yourself, please. People, make sure you're hitting the like button. Let's quickly see what Arteta had to say in relation to the upcoming game in his press conference. He said, obviously, it is different, and you can see the way they finished the second half in the last game against Southampton. We know we have to be prepared to go against, and he was speaking about the formation change. We know we have to be prepared to go against both situations in the back three formation. They have different options to play as well. They are a threat in different areas. So we need to get prepared like we always do. They play many different variations of a back three, like he said. And, you know, I don't think Nuno wants to play a back four too many times, and his hands were pushed, hands were tied because of Connor Cody's absence. But you saw Connor Cody's absence make them do a back four. So we have to consider that. And like he said, it is a really tough game. They are one of the most organized teams in the league for sure. And Arteta, with that being said, I hope you're freeing up your attacking players because they're organized. They're tough to break down. You're going to need to free up your attackers. He's also said they've been together for a long time. They've shown in big games against big opponents how difficult they can make it. So I'm expecting a difficult game against a team that dominates almost every aspect of the game. I would say they know what to do exactly. So I hope everybody stands up to be counted, people, really and truly. On David Luiz's fitness, he said, we hope that he's okay. These surfaces bring different challenges to some players that have issues in their bodies, and it is quite aggressive to play on this surface. So he wanted to take zero risk on that. It is okay. He should be fine. That was obviously the last press conference where he was alluding to why David Luiz came off. I didn't actually cover it, but I want to speak about some of Arteta's thoughts in relation to the Europa League game that we've played and we won against Molde, people. My tea might get cold. Apologies. On Pepe, he said, I'm really pleased. After the disappointment of something negative, you want to see a reaction. And I could see from the first minute with his body language that he was ready to act. I think he had a great performance. He scored one goal and could have scored another one or two. He created some good moments in the game, worked really hard for the team. So I really like it. And I'm pleased with that. He went on to say on whether he'll adopt his formation in the Premier League. Obviously, he went with a back four. He said, it depends on the players that we have available and a few things that we have to make sure that we can control better than we did, tonight. There are a lot of positives. We looked a threat all the time, but there were some issues that need to be resolved. This will take time, and it's that we changed the team a lot. We played a lot of young players, but I was really pleased with the performance and the personality they showed on the pitch. In relation to Pepe, again, he said, we all know that was his level. And all the time, the question is, how often can he get to that level? How he contributes to other aspects of the game. Today is there's a best example of that. He needs to hit, and he needs to keep doing it because he is capable of it. And you can see that every time he gets into those positions in the final third, he's a real threat and a very difficult player to control because he can go with his feet, he can go inside, he can shoot, he can create crosses, and he can go in behind you as well. This is what we expect from him. On Balogun's goal, he said, yes, it was well deserved. He's working really hard. He's had some difficult months with all the speculation around him, but he's handled the situation in a real mature way. He wants to stay. We want him to stay. We give him the opportunity, and he took it straight away. Big up Balogun. And on Balogun, you know, courtesy of the Beautiful Game podcast, go and check those people out, people. Apparently, they said Balogun's camp want assurances that the striker will be given enough first-team opportunities and not just sold later on to generate funds after he extends his contract. Talks are ongoing. No agreement is close yet. Now, for Balogun and for Arsenal, there's no assurances. There's no assurances Balogun's going to improve. There's no assurances that Arsenal will give him opportunities. There's no assurance he'll hit the level that I and a lot of people expect him to, and we're hoping he is. You know, Arsenal owe him nothing. Balogun knows each other nothing. Arsenal have given him an education, so he should be thankful for that. Balogun, if he never had ability, Arsenal wouldn't take him to that. So what Balogun and his advisors need to do is sit down and ask themselves, is staying at Arsenal Football Club the best option? On one hand, I believe it is. I think Tyrese, John Jules, Balogun, they will get opportunities. But at the same time, if we do the maths, if I'm Balogun, yeah, it was fantastic to score. But in these next few months, I would delay my contract. I'd even not sign with anyone else in January. I'll just keep the speculation going, because if we look at it in terms of development, yeah, the Europa League's a nice moment, and he might get further opportunities. As I said earlier, I hope he plays in the league and is involved on the bench and things like that going forward, because he deserves it. And I also hope he gets to start in the Europa League now that we're through. But if we look at the facts, he's played 2 games, not played 90 minutes. Yes, he scored. Is that enough in terms of development? If Arteta is picking his strongest team, is Balogun a number of these young players in the team? Lacazette should be sold on with his poor form. But, you know, Lacazette is still here for another year on paper. Aubameyang has signed a new deal. Martinelli, left wing / striker business. You've also got Tyrese, John Jules. Tyrese, Eddie, you're fighting with them sort of thing. How much strikers are that ahead of him? You know, is he going to get the game time? I back him to, but he needs to ask himself, or is it make sense to go to Sheffield or go to Brentford or go to Germany where you're going to be closer to the first team, where there's going to be a proper plan for you and things like that? He should sit on his hands and take his time, in my humble opinion. Seeing is believing, you know. Again, you want, like I said, pathway. What do I need to do? Because for me, next year, Balogun, if he's not going to be a thing where he's involved in the first team and he stays here, he needs to go on loan because he needs to play against grown men. He needs to be out of his comfort zone. Balogun hasn't been out of his comfort zone, in my opinion, at Arsenal. Yeah, coming off the bench is senior football, but he ain't. He scores goals for fun. He's stronger than everyone. He's faster than everyone. He's improved his link-up play. He needs to play against a team where he might try things at under 20, like a certain skill that might pop off without thinking at 23s. He tries it, he gets clamped, or there's someone stronger than him, or faster, or better than the air. You need to be out your comfort zone so you can see your true level. It's all fun and games scoring goals at youth, but you've got to replicate that. I think Balogun's got all the potential in the world, man. And apparently it went on to say, Balogun and his camp believe he is ready to play first team football. I do believe that at some level. Arsenal had originally set a 12 to 50 million valuation for Balogun during the summer. Sheffield made a concrete offer which fell significantly short of that valuation. Brentford are also interested. So we'll have to see. And there is no assurances, man. If Balogun shows these levels to move forward with long-term, fantastic. If not, make a profit with him, Tyrese and Eddie. If none of them show they can, you know, be levels and help the team, then they can go off and have good careers. And then that money could be reinvested. I've always said, if you can't get 20 million minimum off Balogun, Tyrese and Eddie, and I'm using it as a rough guide point, 60 million, there's something wrong, people. There's something wrong. So I think Balogun should be involved in the first team to some capacity, people, moving forward. Going back to the previous comments that Arteta made on Thursday in relation to Reece Nelson, who I'd love to see get a start. He's made some big steps in the last month or so. He's shown what he can do. Again, he's another player that wants to take you on all the time. He's very vertical. He's a great player when he runs in behind, and he's very unpredictable. I really like these type of players to play in wide positions. Defensively, there are things that he needs to do better, and he will improve at that. But he's a much more mature player. He's shown a great attitude. In my opinion, to say that he didn't want to leave on loan because he believes that he's got a chance to play for this football club. And the opportunity is here now. You know, we're going to see it. You know, if Willian is back, Arteta's playing favourites. If he plays favourites, the only reason I'd understand Nelson not getting game time is because he might be tired because he played on Thursday. He should play ahead of Willian. Even if Willian's fit, is he fit enough to get 90? Is he got elements of ring rust in his game? I think Nelson deserves to start. Nelson's opportunity is here. You know, loss of form, injuries has presented opportunities. It's down to Nelson, it's down to Nketiah, and it's down to Smith Rowe and the rest of them to seize the future. And it's here now. You didn't go on loan, you know, and it looked like you might not get game time, but the opportunity is here now. Simply put, take it. You look good against Leeds. You look good in the Europa. Like somebody said earlier, football fanatic, like he said earlier, and also like he said now, smash the like button. He's got to work on his just polishing out them crosses. You know, one can't be over hit and then under hit, and the third one is good. Two of them free crosses need to be pinpoint sort of thing. You know, just these little things in Reece Nelson's bit of play. I think he's a player. I'm not here to say he's going to be world class and the rest of it, but I think he's someone that we can use moving forward. He also said, further moving on from him, he said, he's showing that he wants to take that direction. He's performing in the right way. When asked on if he's spoken to Nelson on what he could do better, he said, yes, we're doing a lot of work with him. Obviously, he's so willing. He's asking for more all the time. He wants individual meetings. He wants to work on the pitch in certain aspects in which we think he can improve. He's training really, really well. He's developing as well. He had a click and we needed that click. Now it's up to him. But I must say that his last performances have been really good. Exactly. It's up to him to take his chances, but his cameo against Leeds and his performance in the Europa League steps in the right direction. And for me, that's what I like with Nelson, because we always assume these young players at Arsenal are comfortable. And when you see Eddie, Joe, and Nelson show a real reluctance to go on loan, I know two of the three have previously, it makes you think that. But for me, that's Nelson moving above and beyond. You see Nelson, he seems to be a very religious man, so he's doing all he can and putting the rest of what he can't do is faith in God. This is what he said there in isolation. That's what I want to hear about Pepe. I want to hear Pepe is doing all of that, because that's for me what I was talking about in my last live stream. In that, it's not that I don't think Pepe is doing the minimum. Is he doing the maximum? When I hear that, Reece Nelson, based on that, you're doing the maximum you can to get chances and the best you can to develop, because you're asking your coaches for individual stuff. You're doing extra training. You're asking your coaches for on the pitch for advice. You're doing your own research. You just want to see Nelson polish up a bit, but the penny will drop if you keep doing things like that. Simply put. He was then asked on our young players. He said, I think it was a great combination from Danny, Kieran, Emil, and Flo. And Emil is a player with an incredible talent. He's got the ability and the quality. Mentally, it is always a challenge because the demands are so high. The pressure is so high to play here. And you need to hit those levels to become an Arsenal player. It's down to him as well. I really like him. And he's a player that if we are a little bit patient with, we'll have a great player there. And we do need to be patient with Smith Rowe. And I agree with what he said. Smith Rowe's got the ability. He's got the potential. It's down to him because mentally, I'm sure you'll remember Everton away last year when he started. I think Lundberg took over that. And I think Arteta was in the stands. He looked overawed. Smith Rowe looked overawed. And for Smith Rowe, it's a mental thing now. Can you take everything in your stride? Can you deal with the pressure of being an Arsenal player? Because ability, he's got it. He just needs to stay fit, pattern up a bit mentally, and everything will fall into place. Let's not put too much pressure on Smith Rowe because he's not going to be the player we think he is tomorrow. He's got to work there. But he's another one I would like to see get chances. I'd like to see him get on the bench tomorrow as well. Balogun and him both deserve to be on the bench. At least these young players will do a bit more than these experienced ones, people. When asked on if we can bring our high-scoring form to the Premier League, he said, this is what we want to do. We've been more efficient in this competition. It can be down to some players that we utilize in certain positions. It can be because of the opposition. There are a few factors there. I must say that if we want to be fighting with the big clubs, obviously the amount of goals that we score has to improve because defensively, I think we've had 4 clean sheets in the last 6 games, which is pretty good. But offensively, our numbers have to improve. And forgive me if I'm wrong, we're almost on 7 odd hours without actually scoring from open play, people. And as much as when you look at things like this, when you look at certain things, people, as much as I think it's the system, I mean, the players need to fix up, and the players have been poor, like against Leeds, Xhaka, Sabas, Joe Willock. You all had individual reasons to turn up. I've got more sympathy for Joe than the other two. But as poor as they were, and like I said, you're poor because you played poor. You have to look at the dynamics of what Arteta is doing as well, or setting them up. The players, it highlights how poor they were, but you look at it, again, once again, to reiterate, courtesy of Orbino, that game, Xhaka did not complete a pass to Joe Willock and made just 3 to Ceballos. Willock failed to complete a single pass to Xhaka and just 2 to Ceballos and none to Aubameyang. I don't know why I didn't copy and paste Ceballos, but this tells you the link. If your midfield 3 are not connecting and linking up play between each other, and distributing the play within each other, there's an issue there. Xhaka probably passed more times to Tierney or Saka when he came on than Ceballos or whatever. And you saw the gaps against Leeds, and you're hoping to God that doesn't happen again tomorrow because Wolves will exploit that. I think the only benefit we can see with Wolves is the simple fact is Jota isn't there, people. And even if we look at it, in terms of Arteta, the most shots Arsenal have managed in a Premier League game under Mikel Arteta came in his first ever game, the 1-1 draw at Bournemouth, which was 17. So again, he's been in there 10 months. I'm not saying it needs to be perfect, but are we seeing a blueprint? Are we seeing inroads to say we're moving forward into an attacking way of playing? Are we seeing it as white and black to say, he gets more attacking players, or he gets this hour and Szoboszlai, and we're going to suddenly ping the ball around like a prime Barcelona with Xavi and Iniesta? It's not as simple as that. Statistically, it's not. Our eyes are telling us it's not. Clearly, better players will do half the job, but Arteta's also got to pattern up a bit, man. If we look at it, Arsenal managed 19 shots against Molde, the only game under Mikel Arteta since last December where the team has created more in 90 minutes was at home against Dundalk, people. The 8 shots on target that we had was the joint most in a single game under Arteta, along with the home game v Norwich in July, people. Which is quite crazy, people. I'm trying to find and to highlight our lack of goals, people. As much as people get onto Pepe's been involved in 6 goals, 4 goals, 2 assists. Aubameyang's got 4 goals, 1 assist with 5. Joe Willock's got 2 goals, 3 assists. Bellerin's got 3 assists. Saka's got 1 goal, 2 assists. Lacazette and Nketiah both have 3 goals. Williams got 2 assists, still coasting off the Fulham game. Balogun, Luiz, Gabriel, Nelson have a single goal to themselves. And Smith Rowe and Ceballos have 1 goal. So again, mediocre numbers. And some of them have been injured, of course, people. I'm trying to find the other statistics for you guys, people. I really want to. I don't think I'm going to be able to, though. in relation to the passing between Xhaka and the rest of them. So I might just carry on. Oh, here we go. You know, in terms of that Leeds game as well, the player with the most passes to Aubameyang was Leno, and Leno was a long ball forward. So you can see the problems. And again, that has to be down to the players to take responsibility and fix up. But it's also down to Arteta. He's telling, to a degree, as much as the players are playing poor, they have to be listening to what Arteta is telling them to a slight degree, people. So it is what it is. And in relation to Saka, who came off the bench, you know, people look at it. He completed 3 more passes to Aubameyang in the game against Leeds. Then Pepe, Willock, and then Willock, Pepe, and Willian did combined with 2, which tells you how non-existent the link between the midfielders are, and for midfield to attack people. And it's a bit of a joke thing, really and truly. On the topic of Aubameyang, I said I would mention it, and I don't want to forget. I'm conscious of time. Make sure, people, I'm not going anywhere. 12:05, I'm going to be back on my channel. Curtis Shaw will be here. We'll be talking again about Arsenal. Make sure you open up another tag. You've hit the like button and all of these things so you don't miss out, people. But looking at Aubameyang, because we've been speaking about him and things, and I want to be wrong. I want him to go back on the through the middle, but I think he'll be back on the left tomorrow. But he's been speaking, and courtesy of Arsenal.com, and he said, "I play everywhere. I don't really mind. I don't really mind. Everyone knows where I prefer to play, but this doesn't matter because I prefer to have many options than just one." And, you know, Aubameyang's always going to say that he'll do what he wants to do for the team. A bit of it is PR. Every striker wants to play through the middle, more or less. But I understand you can get goals off the left. He said, "I want to help and I want to learn as well, because you learn every day, even if you are young or maybe older. But I'm still learning and I feel good everywhere. You learn because your movements are different if you play. For example, on the left, you have to play sometimes more in the pocket to try to connect with the midfield players. And it's maybe different with the striker position. As a number 9, it's completely different. Sometimes you have to be wide, but when you are a striker, you are more centrally, and it's really different. But I've learned a lot of things since I've been playing on the left-hand side. It gives me opportunities because a lot of defenses are attracted by the 9. Lacazette and Eddie are doing a great job, so they leave space for us, sometimes to come and run in behind the defense. So, of course, it's helped me, and I'm still learning as a left winger. I'd rather you call yourself an inside forward. And again, it doesn't matter where Aubameyang's playing if you're going to hit him. It seems like he's playing as a left winger this year. Last year, he was more of a inside forward, and there's no point having him out wide if, yeah, it's cool saying he can exploit the spaces of the number 9, but if you're not going to ping the ball into his space, what is the point, people? Hopefully a lot of that changes. Hopefully a lot of that changes, people. In relation to Freddie Lomberg's had things to say, people. We'll get onto that in a sec, or I might leave it for the next one, but I want to see what you lot are saying, because I'm seeing the chat pop, people. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Big up C, come on. Greenwood's a good player. I ain't got no hate for Greenwood if that's what you believe, man. Man need to get that tea warmer off Amazon. You know what to get me for Christmas, my G? If I don't get a Christmas present for all the hard work I've been dropping to you, like, oh man, on to you lot. You don't know my guy Ollie. I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I hope you're all good. I hope everybody's all well and safe. Big up everybody for being here early doors, people. Big up ads, man. I wouldn't say it's leveling up because I've had this. This is what I use for the GG podcast. So I'd say actually just using the tools available to me. It's like I'm playing Aubameyang, this being Aubameyang's through the middle now, you know. Or it's a starting Pepe thing, you know. Pepe never got to start. He came out every Friday for the DG podcast, but day in, day out for the StreamYard and whatnot, he weren't there. So it is what it is, man. I hope fans cool off, man. But I think I'm not here to say Nelson can be world class. I just think he should be given an opportunity because Willian is not taking it. And I think Nelson can be a good player for this club and someone for the future. Man, pardon me. When man said, "Why don't you work with Rance?" I do work with Rance. Rance is my guy. I was supposed to be on his channel, but I think Matisse had some family issues or something like that, or was doing some work. I don't know what he's doing, and it didn't work out because obviously they did it yesterday, which was 1 p.m. I already scheduled the Talking Wolves one, so that's why I wasn't there. I had some things to do in previous weeks, but I hope to be back. Big up Jay Woke. Big up yourself, my guy. I hope you're all well and safe. Big up everybody locked in. Do you have a mailbox? What do you mean, like a postal service? I've got an email. If that's what you want. He needs to take the handbrake off, my guy, man. I already tried, my guy. It didn't bang for me, though. I tried, man. I tried. They're not even on the ticket exchange. It's mad, man. It's quite sad, man. It's quite sad. But yeah, man, it is what it is. I would put them both on the bench, to be fair with you. I don't think there's enough attacking players on the bench, but I do agree at a push, we'd have to change it. A mailbox. I'll give you an email to hit up for more details. What it all depends what are you trying to send before I send you where you can go to contact things. It all depends what you're trying to send my GG. But yeah, I do, man. I do, of course. You came late, but it doesn't matter, my guy, because 5 minutes past 12, we're back again. We're back again. Bro, Kiddo Taylor Hart's having a bad boy season. Bad boy season, and he deserves that. He looked good against Spurs in pre-season. He's been good for the under-18s. He deserves his pro deal. He's worked very hard. You know, last season, done dirty with a lot of injuries, but he's come back stronger. It's crazy, man. I need half your commitment, DG. Keep up the hustle, man. You just got to find something you want bad enough, man. I want to keep improving. I want my channel to grow. I want to keep bettering what I'm delivering to you guys. So that's why, man, come heavy each and every day. I'm not going to lie. It does get hard, does get tough, but we keep moving, people. If we quickly, I think I'm conscious of time. I might just leave that one, the one with Ceballos and Louise for Curtis and things like that, people. So I'm going to leave you lot. You know what? I'll leave the Longberg one. The Longberg one might be for tomorrow business. But what I'm gonna do, the next stream definitely is showing. It definitely is showing, my guy. And you know what? I'm gonna go get that for you. I'm gonna go and get that one right now for you, people. Deluded Gooner, Curtis Shaw. Right, it's doing it dirty. It really is doing it dirty, innit? Don't worry. I'm gonna get that for you. I'm gonna get that for you. Check out the pinned message, my guy. It's all in the pinned message, but I'm going to get it again for you lot because I'm conscious of, I want to make things easier for you guys. Curtis Shaw, view on YouTube, pick that up. There we go. Come back to my StreamYard where you lot are. Boom, boom. There you go. No, I couldn't. I was ready to do it on Thursday. I couldn't do it at 1 p.m. because like you saw, I was doing it with Dave from Talking Wolves, so I couldn't do that. I've been very impressed with Akinyola, like I've been saying in a number of videos. My dude, he's come in, he works hard, he trains the way he plays from people I speak to. He's got a good attitude, he breaks up play. I like him a lot, man. And Ben Kochu obviously got the goal and played very well. He played very well. Apologies. Yeah, man. Next week thing. For sure. Next week thing. Assuming everybody's schedules match up, people. Assuming everybody's schedules match up. Before I get out of here, people, let's speak about Arawa very quickly. Because apparently, I'm sure you've all seen there's all song and dance about, he didn't want to warm down and he's had a bit of a poor season and whatnot. So I'm gonna leave you lot on that note, and I also want you lot to. The good thing is it doesn't end, people. Like up the stream, but this doesn't end. 5 minutes from now, me and Curtis will be back here. You know me. I don't take a day off. Tomorrow there's more content, so make sure you've got your reminders for the Arsenal versus Wolves watch along. Make sure you're there for the Curtis Shorting. But let's talk about Aura quickly to wrap this up, people. Apparently, during the last transfer window, there were repeat claims in France about Arsenal's interest in Hossam Aouar. The Gunners tried to reduce the Lyon star's price tag by including Matteo Guendouzi, but the Liga side weren't interested in this deal. According to claims at the end of the window, Edu wanted Thomas Partey, while Arteta was keen on having the French international. Aouar, who had 9 goals and 10 assists in all competitions last year, has failed to continue his form so far this campaign, probably due to speculation over his future. He was left on the bench during his side's last league win over Angers. After the match, the player refused to join his teammates for a post-match warm down. And obviously, you've seen on his social media, he's kind of played it down. But he said, according to L'Equipe, the attacking midfielder blamed the poor pitch conditions for not taking part in the warm down. Well, did he warm up? Because I know he's on the bench, but did he take part in the warm up? Make of that what you will. Quick, sorry to go off topic. I think he's been a good addition. Not too sure if he'll make it at Arsenal, but I've been impressed with him, my guy. An injury kind of stopped him in his tracks. He made a fast start to life at Arsenal, and he's been a good addition for the 23s and a good option for Steve Bold to flirt with other options. But back to did he warm down? I mean, warm up. If you warmed up, it's a bit of a mad one. And I think, obviously, when you look at Aouar, I'm not going to say it could help us because it could go again, but I think him and Upamecano and a couple of players, speculation over their futures has kind of harmed them this year and how they've started and whatnot. And started and whatnot. But so it's been a bit of a crazy one. You can't see half my face. I need to stand up. It's wedge, you know. It's wedge. Maybe I need to buy a smaller one. It's wedge. Do you want better? Do you want to hear me better or see me better? I'm trying, my guy. But in relation to Aouar, obviously, if he's then cheaper or he plays poorly, so they can't say we want 60 million for him, it makes it easier for Arsenal because we'd probably pay 40 leading up to 50. That could also make other teams interested in him if he's available. Also, it could be what you're hoping for is that all these other teams say, you know what, he might not be as good as we thought. Let's go and spend money elsewhere. And then we go for Aouar. You know, for Aouar, I don't know. Will we go for him in January? You know, based on this news, why not? But again, if I was Aouar, unless he really wants to leave and this is just the latest sort of incident in which clearly he feels aggrieved, then I don't think a move is in his best interest in January, or he should move really, because he's still trying to play for France and whatnot. Maybe leaving and get into a new situation at a club can propel him into the France squad for the Euros next year. But I feel his best chance of doing that is putting speculation over his future to a side, whether that's Arsenal, Juventus, Madrid, and just focus on helping Lyon qualify for the Champions League and getting nine goals, 10 assists or whatever you had, showing more consistency. Because even last year there was hot and cold moments from him. And then ultimately your move will happen. Your move will happen. It's the same as Szoboszlai. Should he move in January? From an Arsenal fan perspective, I want him. It looks like he will leave. But again, is it best to just stay with Salzburg? Well, stay where you're at the moment and just develop yourself and then keep it moving. Only he'll know. Apparently, it went on to say, in relation to him not warming down due to the poor pitch, things didn't go down well with Lyon and their chiefs, Vincent Posselt and Juninho. With the consent apologies of Ulas, they decided to punish Aouar. He will therefore miss the next tie against Reims this weekend. At the end of the report, the newspaper mentions Aouar will have to deal with the frustration of not receiving a firm offer in the summer. He dreamed of joining a big European team, which Arsenal are not, but Arsenal were too timid in their approach, weren't willing to meet the 50 million euro fee demanded by Lyon. They keep their report up by stating Aouar can once again stir up suitors if he manages to regain his best form. Last week, report stated the Lyon star is Arteta's first choice target for attacking midfield, and it remains to be seen whether Arsenal can convince Lyon to sanction his sale. So make of that what you will, people. Make of that what you will. So we've spoken about Balogun, we've spoken about Aubameyang through the middle, we've touched on Aouar. You know, we've done a lot, man. On that note, though, I'm gonna have to keep it moving for a sec. But let me see what you lot are saying before I keep it moving. We're gonna give you a spanking. Hey man, that's a bit beaky, man. You need to be going and telling Gal that. But you know, hopefully you have humble pie on your face, Leighton. You know, may the best team win, may the best man win. Ahmad has said, I think he wants you to put your mic down lower so he can see the rest of your chin. Bro, how does it get bro? Let me try. Apologies. Can you still hear me the same? Is it? I beg you, let me know, because I'll leave it like this. If you can hear me the same quality, then I'll leave it, people. Can you hear me the same? Allow me, people. Come on, you gooners, like you said, man. If you can hear me the same, please just shout, man, innit? Just let man know you can hear me the same, or I'm like, there's no point putting it like this, because it does feel a bit weird to me looking at it. But people, I'm gonna get out of here. There's 2 minutes left. You know, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm conscious that Curtis will be waiting somewhere in my next live stream. All right, cool. You man are saying it's all good. Cool. It stay like this. It'll stay like this. All right, cool. I'll keep it like this. See, I'll do everything for you guys. If you listen, if it's cool, we'll move with it. But people, I'm gonna keep it moving because Curtis is gonna be in my next live stream. Please make sure it's there. Links in the description. Hit the like button of this video. Go and hit the like button of that video. Make sure you've hit the reminders for my Sunday one, and we'll be back again. I mean, one guy said it was better before. I'm trying for you guys, man. Look, is it that? Can I help everyone with that? I'm gonna leave it like that because the majority are saying that they can. But I'm gonna get out of here, people. Please make sure you hit the like button. I'm going to link my brother Curtis now. On that note, bang. See you in a minute, literally. I'm out.